Welcome back to another 8-minute deck tech with Jake and Joel, our magic. I am Joel. And today we are going to cover my EDH deck, Keranos, God of Storms. The cool thing that I really like about Keranos and why I kind of built him the way I did is that he acts as something that red and blue don't have a ton of access to, and that's card engine and card advantage, giving you extra cards if you draw a land and giving you value if you draw a card that's not a land. I've built this card very much like a red-blue good stuff deck with mini themes kind of filtered throughout. So let's go through them. The first mini theme in the Keranos EDH deck is Counterspells. I've got 12 of my favorite and some of the most versatile counter spells that exist. You got your spell crumple that's going to put your stuff on the bottom. Your straight up ones, rewind, that give you value back. Cancel and remand, kind of straight up do it and give you the card back. All the way to dissolve, that's going to give you a little bit of value in the form of scry 1. Counterspell, that is just straight up OG, you're done, goodbye. Disallow is going to allow us to not only counter a spell, but possibly some activated or triggered abilities if that's necessary. Mindswipe is going to give us value in the way of damage for countering a spell. Draining Welk is going to leave a butt behind on the field to do some damage or possibly block. Discombobulate is going to give us counterspell with a little rearrange on top. Insidious Will is one of my favorite ones with some total value straight up. You can choose any mode of this and get value for it. And Confirm Suspicions, counter target spell and investigate 3 times. You're only getting card value out of this. After that, these aren't the only creatures I have in the deck, but they are 5 of the main ones. I figure Keranos is a god, why not have some other gods and maybe a few titans to fill out the package? We've got Thassa, we've got the Locust God, we've got Kefnet to just provide some more unkillable, absolutely horrible things to deal with for your opponents. Plus, you've got Inferno Titan and Frost Titan, 2 of my favorite OG commander spells that aren't the most impactful and most played commander spells, but they're near and dear to my heart, and they do give you some stuff back in the right circumstances. So this is the rest of the creature package. And there's not really a true theme here besides really good, high-impact, value-returning creatures. This kind of creature package is going to allow you to swoop in for the win at the end of a game that you have just controlled down. You counter the spells that are coming at you, you remove the creatures that prove a threat to you, and then you come in with some creature like a Flame Blast Dragon, Vizier of Many Faces, or Taurian Mauler, among others, that can just provide an unkillable win condition. Hopefully, you're going to have a lot of stuff left in your hand, other counter spells, other removal, that are going to allow you to protect your single win condition. This is one of my favorite mini themes in the deck, and that is X spells. With these X spells, you've got some single target removal, you've got some board wipe, and it really provides some removal versatility. One of Keranos God of Storm's strengths is keeping your hand full and making sure that you always have lands to play. That is going to prove very useful when you go to cast an X spell. Speaking of single target removal, this is the built-in removal that I have remaining after those X spells. Some of it is going to take your creature and make it mine. Some of it is going to remove it completely. Some of it is going to bounce it back to your hand. Some of it's going to bounce it all back to your hand, like Cyclonic Rift. One of my favorite spells in the entire package is Capsize. Capsize is a spell that absolutely can turn a game and just keep the lock on, especially in Commander. If you've got the mana to pay it for 6, if you've got the mana to pay 12, you can constantly return whatever their threat is to their hand, and it never proves an actual threat to you. Again, with the versatility, Phyrexian Ingester provides a butt on the field that also eats a creature as it comes in. Miniature theme incoming, and that is Redirection. One of my favorite things to do with red in Commander is take your spell, flip it on its head, and throw it right back at you. It's a very is-it thing to do, and these are two of the most powerful spells to do that with. Reiterate is like Capsize in that if you've got them in it, you can just do it over and over again. Wild Ricochet is one that can catch anybody by surprise. They go to destroy your permanents, they go to Maelstrom Pulse, whatever. You turn it on them and then do it again. These are the cards in the deck that represent the card draw. I tried to pick 4 spells that were super high impact, so I was getting maximum value when I cast to draw. Draw X cards, which is fitting into the X theme again. Opportunity draw 4 at instant. Mind's Eye is repeatable draw, and for C, you're going to be able to dig down a maximum of 6 cards if you're really just trying to get in there and find that answer. Rounding out the deck before we get to mana producers and lands are 4 versatile spells. These are just kind of utility. Blood Moon, because I don't run a lot of non-basics in this deck, and that can absolutely hose so many Commander players. Rite of Replication, because it's always a fun spell to cast, and I end up with a lot of mana in this deck. Acquire, because it's just mean to do, and 5 can represent going and getting a Darksteel Colossus sometimes. It's kind of crazy. And then Vandal Blast as a way to just get rid of every other artifact that's proving a problem for Keranos to deal with. I run 5 mana rocks just to increase the amount of mana that we have. A good control deck wants a lot of cards and a lot of mana, and Keranos helps you filter past your lands to constantly have heat in your hand. These artifacts help with producing mana for all those X spells and high cost spells, and then have enough mana left over to protect them with counters. I told you Blood Moon plays in my deck, and that's because I only run 9 non-basic lands in the entire deck. All of these either go get an island or a mountain, they produce red or blue mana, or, as in Temple of the False God, produce 2 colorless mana. Past that, because I like to be a little trolly with a counter spell already trolly deck, I have all white bordered lands to round out the basics. That is Keranos, God of Storms, aka Red Blue Good Stuff deck. If you liked this video, reach down there and click subscribe, click like, click dislike if you didn't like it. Again, thank you for spending your time with us, and other than that, I am tapped out.